Well, hello, fishy folks. It's been a while since I've updated. I didn't think anybody actually watched these things, but I actually got a request from somebody to update on my current tank situation. So thank you very much for the request. Here's an update. Basically move things around again, but this is it. I'm leaving it here. It's been like this for a while. So I ripped out all the Tortoval because it wasn't doing very well, and I replaced it with Giant Jungle Val. And as you can see, that stuff is awesome. It's all back there. Sorry, I just did my tank, so it's a little bit murky. There's a little bit of stirred up stuff because I just finished a water change. So you can see here, change things around again, but I love this. Now the water sprite that down there is actually just floating. So usually it's floating at the top, but I just did my water change. It got caught in the down spout there of my one canister, but it will float back up to the top eventually. It looks really nice up at the top. Reason why I put that in, I was having a little bit of the higher nitrates, so I put in a couple of floating plants, a couple of water column feeders, just to eat that up a bit. And it's done great. Like it was a really little plant when I put it in, and it's blossomed to that in like 2 weeks. There's a bunch. So that's water sprite, water wisteria. I've got 2 different kinds in there. I can't remember which one's which for the broadleaf and the knot. Anyways, but I've got both kinds in there, and they suck up those nitrates so fast. They're amazing. You can just float them. You can put them in the substrate if you want, and they'll still grow. But I like to just float them. Not to mention they provide shade for some of the fish that want some shade. I noticed the rainbow fish will kind of hover underneath it a lot when it's all up at the top, mind you. And the goal is to have it kind of spread across half the top of the tank, and then I'll start trimming it off. But it's going to have to get a lot bigger before it stops getting caught in the downflow. It's too little right now to keep itself up. But once it gets a little bit bigger, it'll just stay up at the top, and it'll provide a nice shady area for the fish at the top. There is no more Java moss in this tank. I'm not sure if I talked about that before, but this tank does not grow Java moss. It just doesn't work. I don't know if it's my pleco or my shrimp, but something's disturbing it so much that it will not grow. The water parameters are exactly the same as my other tanks, which grow it like mad, but this tank will not grow it. No matter what I put it on, it all ends up dead and gone. So I think it's just being disturbed too much by the fish. Yeah, I put in a small Fluval U2, I think it is, underwater filter just for polishing, because I find that my canisters don't polish the water very well. So I put that in for polishing, and it does an amazing job. Like I just did a water change, so you can see here there's a lot of particles in there. Within like 2 hours, they'll all be gone. There'll be nothing left. It's a great little unit. I took out all the fluval crap that came inside of it, and I just stuff it full of filter floss. That's it. So I keep the middle part, and it's got some like bio media in there, but I put my own Eheim bio media in there. The stuff that comes with the fluvals are like 3 pieces of bio media. It's ridiculous. So I filled it up with some Eheim stuff, and then down the sides I just stuff it with filter floss, and it polishes so well. It does a great job polishing. So definitely, I mean, if you don't mind it in your tank, it is kind of ugly. I would love to redo this tank with a sump someday, but it's not in the cards right now. Anyways, yeah, so here's an update. Things are looking good. Now, I have lost my gouramis since I had a parasite get in this tank. I lost quite a bit of fish, actually. It was awful. I lost 2 gouramis, and I lost 3 or 4 rainbow fish. Nothing else seemed to be affected, though. The bloodfin's not affected, the autocinclus not affected, Siamese algae eater's not affected, and the white clouds were fine. Yeah. So there you have it. It's coming along. And in about another month or so, I'm hoping within another month, all of that back will be jungle val. So right up behind the driftwood too, you can see it starting to grow back there. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, you can't really see it, but behind that driftwood back there you go. It's all jungle val as well. It's just really short back there. It's not taking off as well. I don't know if it's getting choked out by something, but I'm going to move the driftwood forward just a little wee bit so it can grow. But look how thick this stuff got. In like a matter of weeks, it grows so fast. It's amazing stuff. And the runners just like they fire out like it. You can watch them grow. You can literally watch it grow. Within a day, you'll see a runner start, and by the end of the day, the runner is, an inch and a half long and underneath the substrate already. It's just ridiculous how fast this stuff grows. There you go. Pretty neat, eh? I do love this tank. Now, I was thinking actually of rehoming most of these fish and doing just a full tiger barb tank with this one. So I was looking at possibly getting another tank to home these fish, and this one just do full tiger barbs. That's it. Shouldn't really put tiger barbs in a community because they're fin nippers. They're kind of jerks, but they look beautiful together in a decent sized school, and they stay pretty tight. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do with this tank. I will let you know when that happens. But to do that, I unfortunately have to get another tank for all these guys, which unfortunate for my wife. But yeah, and then I get to re-aquascape again, another tank. I'm pretty excited about that. My little 20. Oh, say hi to Mildred. She's new. We got a golden doodle. She is the biggest sucky baby in the planet. I love her to bits. My little 20 is doing well. You can see all the tortoval propagated pretty nice in this tank. I've thrown some hornwort in there it's really bright. I got the new Fluval 3.0s, the Spectrum Plus, I guess, the 3s. Great lights, fantastic. They grow plants wonderfully, but they're so bright. And I've got this one turned down even 50%, and I still was having a major hair algae issue with this thing. I mean, I even turned the intensity down, and I turned the lighting schedule down, and still hair algae. So what I've done is I've put in some hornwort and some water wisteria, and the hornwort grows so fast. That was just one little tiny piece like a couple weeks ago, and look at that already. So it's eating up all of the extra nutrients in the tank. So a lot of people don't like hornwort because it can shed, and you'll get needles all over your tank. I've noticed if you float it, it's not such a problem. If you bury it or hold it down, then all the bottom needles kind of die out, and you get a lot of waste needles all over the tank. So with that said, if you're going to put hornwort in your tank, try floating it. I think you'll be a lot happier with it. And again, once this gets bigger, then it'll have enough flotation to stay up at the top and not get powered down by the hang on back on this particular tank. But all of my Java moss, you can see, is pretty much gone. Reason being, of course, because just everything got covered in hair algae, so I had to go in and manually pluck it all out. It was awful. So we'll try the Java moss again once we get this tank a little more balanced. Yeah. And this tank is just nothing but a mono shrimp, very small mono shrimp right now. They're going to get moved to the other tank once they grow up, but they're just kind of eating algae right now. And celestial pearl danios, that's it. There's a lot of them in there. I think there's 20 celestial pearls in there, and they're so beautiful. Like they are a beautiful fish. Look at these little guys. Maybe you can zoom in on them. Now I keep this tank at 72 degrees, and I've noticed at 72 degrees, celestial pearl danios colors are quite different. They really color up nicely in colder water. A lot of people keep them in tropical temperatures, and I don't think that's a good idea for any danio. They're not really a tropical fish. Yeah, they're beautiful. And again, there's some very small Imano shrimp in this tank somewhere. They're hiding. They're hiding. Now, one thing about celestial pearl Danios is they are very shy fish. So I did have like six gold white clouds in here, like just as the dither fish, and the celestial pearls came out a lot more. They were a lot less shy with them in there. Since I've taken them out and put them into the large tank because they got a little bit big and they like some room, the Danios become a little shy again. If I move quickly at all, they would all hide behind this tree, and you wouldn't think there was any fish in this tank. But beautiful fish, beautiful, beautiful fish. Look at that, gorgeous little fish. That's it. That's my update. Hope you enjoy. I'll let you know in another month or so. Take care.